So this is kind of a general way to open up the node system, which are the cleaning stations of the body. If you get those opened up, that can get about 60% of the lymph system open. If you get a good manual lymphatic drainage session from a reputable certified therapist, I'm one of those, once a month, every 2 months, you can maintain that by opening these node systems and doing this routine. You'll notice that anytime I slide my hand across the skin and I feel a stickiness where the nodes reside, that means there's congestion there. So we have about 700 lymph nodes. Head and neck has about 300. Armpits. And the creases are inguinal creases right where the leg bends, right here. And then behind the knees and then the arms. So as you before you take a shower, if you sweep over those areas and you feel there's kind of a stickiness, we need to move that lymph. The most important areas, the drainage areas, are called the terminus. They're right below the clavicle. So we're just going to get on here and we're going to do these little slow pumps. About as much pressure as you would press on your eyeball. If you press too hard, you can actually shut the lymphatic system off temporarily. So I'm going to do about 10 little circles there. I'm just kind of sweeping down and releasing. Sweeping down and releasing. 10 there. Now we have these nodes, the supraclavicular nodes, above the collarbone. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do the same thing. There's a little hollow there. I'm going to sweep into midline, down, and then make sure you release as you come back up, because if you keep holding, you'll drag the lymph back up. So you sweep down and in and release, down and in. Lymph moves at about 1001, so it's about a 1001, 1002, 1003. You want to do 10 of these. After we do that, we're going to start on the side of the neck, and we're going to start at the bottom, and we're going to start to move very gently the first third, the second third, and the top third down towards the top of that clavicle. We'll do that on both sides. This is just about the weight of a nickel, very light. If you press too hard, you'll impede the lymph. After we've done that, we're going to take our fingers, one in front of the ear, one in the back, and we're going to kind of pull back and down and then release. Back and down and release. Back and down and release. Major nodes in front of the ear, major one behind the ear. Do that 10 times. Next, you can take your hands like that and sweep. One finger is going to be under the thumb, under the jaw, and one on the top of the jawline, and sweep those back. And then bring everything down a couple more times. You can actually go behind the neck and sweep down as well. Very gentle. Now we have to get the nodes in the armpit. There's a deep pit up here. If this puffy, it's stagnant. So we're going to put that up there, right in the very top, the apex, and we're going to do those 10 circles. Remember, it's about 1001, 1002, 1003, and then after that, I'm going to tap on that 10 times, and then I can take from my sternum and brush everything over in that direction. I'll do 10 circles here. I'm not going to do all 10 for the time. I'm going to brush everything into that area. You could also sweep up the side here. Now come underneath your costal arch, your ribs. I'm going to push in and lift a little bit. This is going to get the cisterna chyli pumping. I'm going to do 10 of those. As I'm doing that, I'm going to go either side of the navel and do some tapping there. Now I'm I'm going to go down to the inguinal crease. I'm going to do my little lifts. We're trying to get everything back up to the cister and chyli. And these creases, you want to go from the outside of the crease inward, and you want to repeat that 5 times. If you dry brush, do the same order. It's important that you do it in this exact order. So I would just be dry brushing either in the shower, out of the shower. You could do it when you dry off with a towel. You can hit these points with the towel as you're drying off. Okay. And then the last part is we want to go underneath the knees and pump upward here 10 times. And then you can bring everything up. Front of the legs, back to the front of the legs, like so. And then it's always good to, you can bounce on the heels. Do a good arm shake. Remember, it's breath and movement that moves the lymph. Now, one of the most important things to move the lymph up to the drainage points is not only movement, but deep breathing. Now that we've opened up generally the node system, we got to pump that fluid, 3/4 of it from the lower legs up to this little reservoir of cister and chyli to the drainage point. So the first thing we want to do is we want to open up this right side because we need to get some expansion there. The way we do that is we take our hand, put it over our head and relax. The most important thing with this is you have to be able to move large volumes of air. You need to hear air moving. So I'm going to try to do a 10-second inhalation to get maximum expansion on this right upper side, upper part of my lung. And then I'm going to try to do a slow, controlled 20-second exhalation. So it would look like this. I'm going to exhale all my air out first. Start to inhale. I'll exhale. I would do that 2 or 3 more times. That's going to open up the terminus on the right-hand side. Very important. Now to get the abdominal and the upper chest activation, I'm going to shoot for a 10-second inhalation. You might start with a 8. But the first 5 seconds I'll go palm down. The second 5 seconds I'll go palm up. I'm going to do the same thing with my legs. The first 5 seconds to stay neutral. The second 5 seconds, as my arms rotate outwards, I'm going to have my legs rotate outwards. After I fully inhale and exhale, I'm going to rotate back to the starting position. Now to get maximum benefit for this, in that second 5 session when I start to rotate out, I'm going to rotate out, but I'm going to pull my feet up towards me in dorsiflexion. So the balls of the feet will be coming towards my shoulders. When I reset, I'm going to internally rotate or roll in with my legs and arms, and I'm going to just let my legs relax down into like a plantar flexed or ballerina position. So it would look like this. I exhale all my air out. I start to inhale. Here we go. On 5, I start to rotate out and I dorsiflex or bring the balls of my feet towards my shoulders. And as I exhale, I start to roll everything inward and let the feet point down. Maximum inhalation. maximum exhalation. Now notice I really emphasize the exhalation. I try to make it twice as long as the inhalation. For one thing, the more air you exhale, the more air you can inhale. The ratio of inhaling 2 to 1, where you exhale twice as long as the inhalation, helps balance up the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems. If you want to get maximum results from this, you do it with your legs up on a wall. You can do it laying in the bed, that's fine, but if you really want to supercharge it, because now you have gravity pulling that lymph down. So ideally, your sit bones, the sit bones would be about 8 inches from the wall. So your legs are almost vertical. If that's too hard to get into that position, then just prop your legs up on a chair. Any incline will work, but that maximum incline is the best.